Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our February meeting. If we'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, welcome. We opened our meeting at 7 o'clock. Thank you for being here. Not a whole lot of comments. First, I just want to, in general, thank all of our staff for all of their hard work. We're heading off into New Year, so I just appreciate every one of our staff members, all of them that I run across out doing their work. They're just, everybody is such a pleasure to work with, so I want to thank all of our staff. Also want to remind folks, we still have two vacancies on our budget committee. And so if that interests you, it's probably not too late. And so notify our city recorder, Mr. Norberg, right away. There's an application process, an appointment process. It'd be great to have a couple more people participating and being involved in our city. All right, this time I go over to Councilor Frazier for comments.
Frankly, I don't have any comments this evening. Thank you.
All right. Councilor Corbus?
I have nothing to add.
Councilor Westrom?
Nothing tonight.
And Councilor Councilor Flynn?
Nothing to add.
And Councilor Waddington doesn't have anything to add either. He couldn't be here tonight. So there we go. Thank you, councilors. Let's move on now to consent calendar agenda item number 5.
I'll move that we approve the consent calendar.
I second.
All right, motion by Councilor Frazier to approve the consent calendar 1/5/2026, seconded by Councilor Corbus. Any other questions or discussion? In favor? Aye. Unanimous. Liz? Thank you. And now staff reports. Mr. Norberg, City Manager.
Thank you, councilors, Mr. Mayor. So a couple things on the agenda tonight, the ambulance billing vendor update. Basically, we had a really constructive conversation with the vendor that was preferred by the the ambulance service. In any case, they were very impressive. They knew their data, their stuff, and they actually gave us ideas on how we can make more money. Some of which we could just do without them, but they will help us to do it. OHA's got a program that helps reimburse additional for Medicare transports, so I think that'll be a really good thing, but we are recommending that we approve Systems Design West tonight. The personnel manual, Councilor Frazier, I appreciate your commentary on that. Those are some good catches. Liz made some corrections there, and we took out that one piece of confusing language. That's for CIS, and yeah, when we looked at it again, we totally got that. So it's simplified. The other stuff was kind of cut and paste typos, but she's got all that straightened out, and Liz did a really good job putting that together. So we'll have you consider that tonight. Disregard what I wrote about camp hosts. We had that settled, and then it wasn't. So, but we're working on it again. And then that's basically it for my report. If there's any questions, happy to answer them.
All right, we're going to move right on to finance then. That is also you, Mr. Norberg.
Oh, yes. Happy day. Okay. So you can see the year-to-date financials. Those were effective as of January 22, 2026, based on the timing of when you get the packets and when we send them out and everything. In general, revenues are looking okay. Not fabulous, but okay. And certainly the tax revenue exceeded the budget, which was nice. Franchise fees, those trail because most of our franchise holders pay monthly or quarterly. State shared revenue is about where you expect. So a lot of the things are pretty much on task. So that's good. Most of the most of the departments are doing okay. There's a few overages, generally due to personnel issues. So I think we're looking okay as we start to get into budget season. And I did put in my report that I had Springbrook extended budget training, as they call it, so that we'll be able to continue to keep it in the computer and not have to, import a bunch of spreadsheets because, well, I always find that is a good way to have mistakes. So anyway, we'll get started on that. Well, I've already started on it, but we'll be working on that. The prep side for the next 2 months, and then we'll get into it pretty heavily. If y'all got any questions, happy to answer them. Otherwise, that's what I got.
No questions here.
All right, thank you, Mr. Weber.
Thanks.
And we're going to go on to our Cookeville Fire and Rescue, Chief Latimer.
So I only have one thing that I'd like to add to my report, and it's not even to my report, but if you're a business owner in town and you have a fire system, an alarm company, please call them and have it to where the fire department can access the alarm box. We were over at the credit union and they would not let us access to shut the alarm off, so that way we could do a search of the building without the alarm going off because we weren't authorized users. So if you have a business that runs a fire alarm system, please call them, let them know that if somebody from the fire department calls, we can access their fire alarm panel to shut off the alarm. Other than that, I don't have anything to add to my report.
And Pancake Breakfast coming up, right?
We do on the 21st.
21st of February. So come on out and support them. And that all supports, all the funds raised for that supports the Emmanuel Burns
It does, yeah.
Saturday, the 21st. Any other questions for Chief Latimer? Thank you, Chief. And in our packet, Planning Department, Haley Sheldon.
Hello. I have nothing to add to my report. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for putting together, I think it came up in the December meeting, but putting together the grant spreadsheet here, I think. Yeah, was that you that put it together? Or?
Mark and I.
Yeah, thank you, Mark and Haley. Appreciate it. Wow, super impressive. So, yeah.
Thank you.
It's a big deal. I was thinking about all those projects, all the workers that have been in our city, for all those different periods, all the businesses, local businesses that benefited, just the improvements to our city. It's huge. And so, I mean, those don't happen without those grant dollars. The work of our staff going after those dollars is a big deal. So thank you to all our staff.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Haley?
I just want to comment, thank you also, about putting this in, just because there's so much that you guys do, and I really wanted that highlighted, so I really appreciate that, because, I don't think our citizens realize how hard you and Mark especially work to get these grant dollars, and how much time you guys put in, and so I really appreciate this being added in. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. We wouldn't be able to apply for the grants if we didn't have support staff and if Public Works wasn't able to execute the projects. Public Works executing the projects is really the big deal, because we wouldn't be able to use that amount of money to do this stuff we do if they weren't efficient, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so to that point, Mr. Denning, I've worked on with you specifically on some of these projects, but you in particular and your team it's been a game changer for the city, because we've gotten those grants and we have executed them and done it efficiently, and all the reports you have to do, everything that has to be submitted has translated into future grant dollars, not only from the same agencies, but for other agencies who are watching and paying attention. So I want to highlight that, Mr. Denning. Great job, and I really appreciate your hard work and the team. Yeah.
I think I do have actually one question. Like, how far back does this go? Like,
2021.
Since 2021?
When I started and right before Mark started. So I don't think it includes grants that Kevin Urban.
Sure, yeah. yeah, I wouldn't want that. I just think, especially highlighting what you guys have done is amazing, and how well that's working for the public to save them money.
I have to admit to you, in going down this, there were a couple actually that I missed. No big ones, but I like it to point out, you know, and highlight what these groups are doing within our community. I'm very appreciative of it. Specifically, I know there's a couple from Rotary that didn't make this list, and they're constantly in contact with and always looking, even Kiwanis down to a bench, and the Friends of the Riverwalk as well. You know, they donate their time and money and get money in to get these projects done. Now, that's not going to show up because they run their own books over there, but
Sure.
I think it's worth recognizing them as well, and I really appreciate all that they do. You know, not just the money that comes in, but the input that you get from the community. Like, they're seeing what they want to see in these parks and in our open spaces out here. So my hat's off to them. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up as well. So I just did some quick tallying, and that's 6.9 million. Wow. Yeah, that's impressive, especially since 2021. Thank you, guys.
All right, we're right on to you now, Mr. Denning, Public Works Department.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Just a clarification on the Park Host job. We did have it filled pretty quickly, but the people turned it down. I don't think I got that news for us before press time here. So, yeah, his comments notwithstanding, we are still looking for Park Host. We've got some good inquiries, both from our online camper jobs site and also locally. So we'll be taking a look at those applications that come in and hope to get that position filled soon. In the meantime, if there are problems out there, being that there's no host, go ahead and contact Public Works or call dispatch, just like for any of the parks. And then also wanted to bring up something I neglected to put in my report, but worth mentioning, is that Steve Dubasar has accepted the position of Public Works Foreman within our crew. And we all know who Steve is and know what a valuable asset he is to the city. And this is a position within the CBA that's been vacant for some time. So I look forward to having him there in a leadership role for that team. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Great, congratulations, Steve. And now we're going to move on to our curriculum. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Got one.
We still have three more.
Well, I was just going in order.
Oh,
No biggie.
yeah, those, we got the library, yeah. We'll do our curriculum police next. Chief Doyle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Nothing to add. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
What is NIBRS?
Commonly referred to as NIBRS. You might be familiar with Uniform Crime Statistics. It's a federally driven mandate that is an effort to gather more information regarding criminal acts. So information pertaining to the offender, the victims, the location, be it a residential or non-residential commercial location. We tally that information and then submit it to the feds.
Thank you. Any other questions for Chief Doyle? And thank you to all your staff, too. They're just awesome.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. We'll go to now Mr. Wells, Fire Marshal Code Enforcement. This hand.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. I have nothing to add to my report, but would be happy to answer any questions.
Last time, too. No, last time. Yeah, it's two this time, last time.
All right, no questions? Thank you, Mr. Wells. And now Teresa, Director Lucas for Coquille Public Library.
So first off, I apologize for my report being late. It was technical difficulties, and I couldn't do anything without my IT. So since you haven't had a chance to look at it, I'll bring up to your attention, Councilor Flynn, you asked about the report card, and so I did figure out how to do that. And
Yeah, I love it.
the current year is the light one, and the previous year would be the dark blue one. So those are the numbers there.
Yeah,
and
thank
I've
you.
also included the self-check machine down at the bottom. Again, because you haven't had a chance to read it, we're partnering with the LA County in California for One Book, One Coast project, and it's libraries all over Washington, Oregon, and California, and we're going to read the same book. They call us The Enemy. It's a graphic novel, and I will have extra copies for people, and it's going to culminate on May 31st with an author talk, and we'll be able to stream it live at the library, so that's kind of a cool thing. We do have the puzzle piece. You might remember we talked about that a while ago. It was a grant from Lincoln City, I don't remember what it's called, but it's the puzzle pieces. We have 8 by 9 inch puzzle pieces at the library that people have been coloring, and we found an artist who's going to put it together, and it's going to be mounted up on the wall above the public computers below the light, and it's going to be in 5 different sections because of the weight. And if you haven't had a chance to color a puzzle piece yet, I still have about 20 of them left if you'd like to stop in and get a puzzle piece, color it, take it home, do it there on site so that you can be part of that lasting piece of art. I'll answer any questions if you have anything else.
And, I mean, you're included in all of this hard work, Director Lucas, with all of this grant money. I'm sure you know right off the top of your head how much your total is. So, like, go ahead and share that number with us.
$751,000.
So it's just great. Thank you to you two and your team. And to that point, the other organizations, so the Friends of the Library, who have kicked in and helped. And so it's hard. There is, sometimes it's intangible, but there's a tangible effect to the overall organization or community. So thank you to them as well. Yeah. All right, we're at the end here with our city recorder, Elizabeth Kinney. You want to add, Elizabeth? Right. Okay. Yes, so just a note on when we get to it, the resolution for the HR manual had the wrong date on the resolution, and that's been fixed. So when we do get to that point, assuming it's approved, the correct one will be signed by myself and Elizabeth. There's no questions. I would like to highlight Liz in that she is the Employee of the Month this month. I want to read a portion of this. Mr. Norberg wrote this up. I actually had an interest in nominating Elizabeth this last month too. And so it says here that she has taken on extra roles such as organizing the safety committee and facilitating a mock OSHA audit. Liz is currently working on a new city website, and she voluntarily took responsibility for updating the city's employee handbook, which was badly in need of updating. Liz is professional and courteous to the city's customers and other staff members, and is a strong contributor to our overall operations. And so congratulations, Liz, and yay! And I'll step over because she won't, I'll just do this.
Someone getting a picture?
Told her she probably already saw the certificate, and she goes, "Yeah, I made it." Way to go, Liz. All right, let's move on to public participation. This is the point in our agenda where if the public wishes to make public comment, they can do so with 3 minutes. And when they address the council, they're addressing the mayor. We take notes. It's your time to talk. And then as far as I know, we've always followed up after public. Do we have anybody who has signed up?
First is Chase Carlson.
All right, Mr. Carlson, go ahead and come on up.
Sorry for being a little slow. I just had 2 hits put in 10 days ago.
Wow, great to see you up and around.
My statement I'd like to make is about a possible burn barrel ban. Particulate matter, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, dioxins, furans, benzene, styrene, formaldehyde, heavy metal, lead, cadmium, and chromium. Low temperature, oxygen-deprived conditions in burn barrels promote the formations of these pollutants, some of which are highly toxic. There's nothing more disappointing and disgusting when you're outside on a nice day, sometimes a rare family gathering, than some thoughtless, lazy neighbor lights a burn barrel of toxic smoke that just a whiff will send you inside. There's no good reason to further allow this in the city limits. Cost to dispose properly of burn barrel items is minuscule at best. With recycling picked up for free and the occasional toxic garbage drops that are put on, it is a minimal amount of extra work to separate recyclable material or not, and just to put it in your regular garbage that is picked up. Being recycling is voluntary, I assume. Medford, Jacksonville, Phoenix, Talent, Sutherland, Yahoo, Salem, Tillamook County, Cannon Beach, Seaside, Neatards, excuse me, Brookings, Bandon, and Florence all banned burn barrels. This is a form of air pollution that can be eliminated with just very little enforcement to start out with. Some harsh fines, some examples made out of violators, the word of mouth will likely take over enforcement, thus letting our valuable policemen carry out the more important task of fighting crime and continuing to protect the good citizens of Coquille. I feel it is your elected duty to first protect the health and welfare of all our citizens from a few thoughtless, lazy citizens that don't have the respect enough for the rest of us good citizens. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson.
David Jennings.
Mr. Jennings.
Good evening, councilors and mayor. My name's David Jennings. I live on Dean Street here in Coquille. Wanted to start out by thanking you for the work that's ongoing with the attempt to get good ambulance service here. I don't know if I'm completely up to speed on this, but I did watch online your last meeting where there was a discussion about whether you should try to go for a money measure for money for that service, either in an election this fall or next year at some point. And I don't know where you are on that. I think you ought to seriously consider not going this November and instead going next year. These money measures, of course, have been getting more difficult to pass, but I think good messaging and a well-organized campaign can make a difference and pass it. This particular November is unfortunately going to be a very intense and very angry political year, and I think it's going to suck a lot of the oxygen out and produce so much noise, or if you want to call it that, political static, that is very, very difficult in that environment to get a message out on a money measure that's at the local level. Now, again, I don't have any great insight into this. For many years, I have been involved in different political campaigns regarding money with some success, especially years ago, and not so much success recently. So I'm certainly not some person that has just an automatic insight that that would be better. But on the whole, I would urge you to do a campaign next year and have it well organized. And I think under those conditions, you'd have a better chance at getting your message out to the public. There are some advantages in November. I think it'd be good to try to do it quickly and get it over with one way or another. But I think your chances of success would likely be better if you waited until next year. But anyway, thank you for listening to my comments. And again, thank you for the work you're doing.
Thanks,
city staff and the council and the mayor, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Jennings. Anybody else signed up? Well, it's great to have public participation, so thank you, gentlemen, for All right, we're going to move on to agenda item number 8. We'll get there. Right, this is reappoint Parks Tina, would you go ahead and come on up? I can't stand it. You got to come up. This is a foregone conclusion, but, so we have her seats coming up for re-election, and so Tina, you've offered to stay in your position.
Yes.
On the Parks Committee. So we can move right to motion, but it looks like Mr. Denny wants to say something, and I want to say something too.
Okay.
But
And I don't want to hurt anybody else's feelings in here, but I've got to tell you all that Tina Hallmark's one of my favorite people I've met since I started. And this is...
Want brownies or cookies?
Yeah, this is no lie. And, you know, you've all seen her work on the Adopt a Park program, which, just to put a number on it, is 99%, you know, her work. She's, but not just that, but, you know, her help with the playground project, various other projects we've done, dedication over there between her and the church group over at Reitman Park, and rehabbing that gazebo, and am happy to endorse this appointment to the Parks Committee. I think we have a few more coming up, and I think we have one that is moving away, so I think we'll have a vacancy. And I've got to get with our current chairman, Councilor Cooper, and our recorder, and get up to speed on all that. But I believe we're going to have a couple more. I think most of the committee's interested in continuing to serve, and I think we're going to have one opening. So we'll hopefully get that posted soon. But yes, please, if you could. Yeah.
Any other questions for Tina?
And I just want to echo, thank you for all your hard work, and tremendous, and love the Adopt a Park program and all your efforts, even in the write-up that you're going to go out and try to chase down a neighborhood organization to champion Sanford Heights. So I just really, on behalf of all of us in our entire city, thank you for all your work. And
Thank you. I enjoy it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Tina Hallmark to the Parks and Rec Committee. I'll second.
All right, motion by Councilor Cooper to reappoint Tina to Parks and Rec, seconded by Councilor Flynn. Any other discussion or comments? All's in favor? Aye. There we go. Thank you. All right. We're going to move on to agenda item number 9. Review RFP for ambulance billing services. Mr. Narber.
So as you the council recall in a previous meeting, we discussed the two proposals. The one that was favored by EMS was, Systems Design West. That name doesn't make any sense to me, but that's okay. And so we asked council if we could have a little forbearance to have a follow-up conversation, which Chief Latimer and I had with them, and it was very impressive. They think, the compatibility of our software that we're using in theirs alleviates some issues that might have occurred with that other one. Also, they gave us some, free advice on stuff that we can do that they could also help us with. And the methodology they use to both bill and collect is much more strenuous than our current model. That is not a criticism of our current billing employee. It's just a different model. When you have people in a big office and there's 8 or 10 of them that go, hey, the insurance company rejected this guy's claim, let's go get on them. That kind of thing, it does get you traction. I know from my past experience that if you can hassle an insurance company enough, things happen sometimes. So I think they were very impressive. I told them when I got at the end of the call, it was the best 30 minutes I'd spent that week. And it probably was the best I spent in January. Could be. But anyway, and I usually am not that excited about something like this, but I really do think that they could help us get more revenue for the ambulance service, and that's all part of what we are struggling to do right now.
I'll go ahead and make a motion, and then we can always have more discussion. I'm going to make a motion I think the motion is to approve Mr. Norberg to sign a contract with Systems Design West for ambulance billing.
Yes, sir.
Second.
Motion by Mayor Flaherty to approve Mr. Norberg to sign a contract with Systems Design West, seconded by Councilor Cooper. Any other questions or discussion, councilors?
I had one question. I think I read someplace where I heard that the city of Myrtle Point uses the same system, is that right?
That is correct.
And have you talked with those
Oh,
folks?
yes, they were actually kind of what led us into going down this path.
And they've had it for a while and they're very happy with it?
Yes, they are very happy with it.
Okay, that was my question.
Any guess? I'm assuming it's going to be a year or two before you can see this, any kind of impact, financial impact that'll have? Is that at least a year?
I think, Mr. Mayor, that as far as the Medicare transports go, we can get in that program pretty quick. And so for those transports, that will increase, probably double what our transport revenue is for those customers. So that's pretty immediate. I think some of the other stuff, we will probably see, once they're fully on board, at least a 5% increase in return on billing. But it could be more than that. I don't know what our rejection fail rate is with the insurance companies, but I know it's kind of high. I've seen some of those, and you're like, what? But now we'll have the wherewithal to have someone signed to go to bat for us on those.
Correct. And then I talked with Alyssa this afternoon, actually, and I was inquiring about, our current billing gal, what's going to happen. And she said, from the date that they take over, any outstanding they're not going to handle. It'll be from this time coming. So Renee's still going to be handling the billing for a little while as we make this transition. But she said, when I talked to her, because I asked the same question, when might we start seeing this? And she said we should see it pretty effective immediately with just the income and the revenue that we're generating back. We should see a bigger dollar coming back right away. And like you said, nothing against Renee. She's great. She's a great asset. But this is the way that the world's moving, and it's time that we follow suit.
Is there like a service that they would be willing to provide to help with a little bit of a clawback on some of the older ones? Is that like a premium rate or anything like that to help recapture any of that?
No, they have a system, and they don't want to go backwards at all.
Is there any, did they supply any proposals of what they think it could look like for us going forward?
Not for us, and specifically for us, but they did send their PowerPoint over, and it just kind of shows what they're able to collect and not collect if you look farther in your.
Yeah, and I saw that, and the numbers look pretty good, but they also state that they have a net collection rate of 89%. But there could be outliers in that data, such as how much of that is actually public related or versus private, because the billing structures on that is widely different, right?
Well, so these guys only bill for
Public, okay, so the 89% is just on,
Private billing does their own billing in-house, so this is all public billing.
okay, perfect. And so then they have, what was it last year? Were we at 44% of the collection?
42.
Okay. So based off of that, do we have a sense of how much we would actually increase? Personally, I'm all for it, just because I also think using someone to do the billing part-time and also working in another capacity, and we have a proposal here of anywhere from $19,200 at our current rates to 25, and of course this scales if they get us more money, right? They also make more money. So, way lower than what you could pay an employee to do.
Right.
And for a higher success rate. So I think that's amazing. I'm just trying to understand, what kind of range do you think we should be anticipating?
I would say, based on, the rough amount that we got last year, maybe an additional, if I'm optimistic, 100,000.
Okay.
But in that 50 to 100,000, I think 50 is easy.
Okay.
I think that's the easy thing, just picking up the extra, we'll get the extra money on the transports, which will help us set that up, but also, you know, it really is, I mean, I've seen a transport bill for $3,000 that the insurance company just went, phew, and that was it, you know, but
Yeah,
these
and
guys will get something out of that.
Right, and that's what's hard, right? Because with Renee's position, she's trying to do more than one thing that,
Right.
like, you're not gonna have, are you gonna go save somebody's life, or are you gonna rebill?
Well,
You
the
know,
other thing
try
that
and
we,
file appeals and,
And so these guys have professional collections people, right?
absolutely.
So that's all that they do. So I think
Absolutely.
that'll help.
the other thing that we found out that we've been doing for years is we were only charging $5 a mile. Medicare will pay up to $18 a mile for the first 17 miles, and then they will go down to $13.75, or roughly $13.75, I don't have the paper in front of me, for the remainder of the miles. So we
amazing.
charge a flat rate of 5%. That's something that I found out while we were in this meeting. She's like, actually, you guys could charge this amount.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're leaving money on the table, but that's
Absolutely.
just something that, you know, it's something we've always done. So having this meeting, like Forrest said, that was the best 30-minute conversation that we could have had. There was so much information just in that 30 minutes. That was kind of an eye-opener.
No, I think it's really exciting, and I'm really happy to see what happens with it going forward.
Well, Chief, I just want to say I'm thankful, thank you for your hard work, and Mr. Norberg, because if you remember, part of the discussion on going to the larger ambulance service area for Levy to make sure we keep our Coquille ambulance, in previous discussions, we talked about we have to have our ducks in an order, and I think this is one of the key pieces. Even to know that we were leaving money on the table, we have to know that we're doing our part in everything that we can. So whatever that number is that we go to our voters, that's the real number, and we've done our best in stewarding. Thank you for your work on that too, I appreciate it. Any other questions? All right, we'll go to vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. That was unanimous, Liz. Thank you. Thanks, Chief. All right, agenda item number 10. Consider Resolution 01-2026. Robert.
Just for clarification, there are two agenda item number 11s in the packet.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I meant, should be,
10.
it should be 10. I said 11, but you're
Well,
right.
it says on this sheet too, it's 10, sorry.
Yep. So 12, we'll just bump everything one number. So we are on 10, which is Resolution 01-2026. Thanks for catching that, Councilor Westerman. Not only did I mistakenly say it, but it's also incorrect. All right, Mr. Gerberg.
You have in front of you Resolution 01-2026, which is a resolution of the City of Coquille adopting the updated personnel manual. As I said, we appreciated Councilor Fraser's edits. I believe it's good to go. Liz has made those corrections, and we would recommend the council pass and approve this so we can get this rolled out for our employees. There's some stuff that's in there, you know, we did the last one 3 years ago, and, you know, let's say employment law changed like 400,000 times between then and now, particularly some things like paid leave Oregon. You know, we had this fleeting fleeting piece of information in our current one, which is totally inadequate. So this is beefed up. Most of it is, you know, CIS language kind of merged with ours, but I think it's better than the last one, and the last one was the best one the city had had for over a decade, just by default. So anyway, I would request that you all pass and approve this resolution this evening.
Right, I'll make a motion to pass Resolution 01-2026, a resolution of the City of Coquille adopting the updated personnel policy manual. All right, motion by Mayor Flaherty to adopt Resolution 01-2026, seconded by Councilor Fraser. Any other questions or discussion? Right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you. Thank you. Right, now we're on to 11. Okay. 11, request, consider request for parking permission, Mr. Norberg, and also Haley.
Well, actually, Mr. Mayor, I think the memo is fairly explanatory. Mr. Trundle, the applicant is here this evening. I believe he'd like to speak to you.
Okay, yes, come on up, Mr. Trundle.
Ladies and gentlemen, council members, I hope this is a simple matter. Concerns parking in front of my home on North Birch Street. I was advised that I'd been parked there for over 72 hours and that I needed to deal with that. I did go to the city and review the ordinance. The ordinance does say that you have 72 hours. It also says no person shall park or place or permit to be parked or placed on a street or other public property without permission of the council, vehicle or personal property, yada, yada, yada. That's 10.12.010, and it goes on to list the reasons that are allowable, and under 10.12.100, Section C, it says a vehicle of a disabled person who complies with the provisions pertaining to disabled persons is set forth in the Oregon Vehicle Code, and that would be me. I brought my disabled parking permit. I'm in compliance with the state on that. I also brought, I don't know if anybody wants to review it, assessor's document regarding disabled property tax for veterans, and I have paperwork showing that I'm 100% service-connected, disability-wise, and all of that. Basically, I'm just looking to park in front of my house, next to my gate and my sidewalk. So I hope that's a fairly simple fix, and that's it.
Is it pronounced Trendle or Trendell?
Trendle.
Trendle. Well, first off, thank you for your service, Mr. Trendle. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's a couple things. I think you're in the process for a new driveway on your property.
Well, it's an existing driveway. I have two residences on my property, two separate houses. And apparently, I don't know, the houses have been there since the 30s.
So is in the pictures, is that where the two cars are located, parked on the yard?
I can answer the question. The picture that you have shows one driveway that's hard surfaced and has some wood in it. And then it shows two cars parked in the grass. The two cars that are parked in the grass, Mr. Trindle made an application to get a second driveway permitted, which will require improving that if he wants the permit for it. With, I think, gravel is what we determined. There's no curb there. He received that permit today. It hasn't actually made its way to him. He doesn't have email, but we did it towards the end of the day. So he now has two driveways permitted if he chooses to improve the northernmost driveway.
There's actually rock there, but it's kind of sunk, and I do need to put in more rock.
So what's in front of us is request for a permit, a permission to park.
If I could add one thing? I was advised to request that this be temporary in order that it not become appurtenant to the property.
Yes, yeah, so one of the hangups, I have a couple of hangups, Mr. Trindle. The first one is under Title 10, 04030, 9C, the City Council has the power to act by resolution to establish, amend, or change a system for the use of parking permits, which permits shall allow parking for time periods in excess of time. So our city doesn't have a approved process to issue permits that counter what our ordinance states. And so, you know, and I gotta be honest with you, Mr. Trindle, at least for me, the other councilors, I'm not sure I want to direct our staff to go through that kind of work, ordinances on our streets, because to issue you a special permission or permit, it has to be equitable and fair to the entire city. And so this kind of came up not too long ago, parking recreational vehicles on the streets. And so we just kind of hit a roadblock because, one, there wasn't a process, and two, we didn't want to have a lot of extra vehicles or cars parked for long-term parking on the streets. So that's why the ordinances were written that way. The second question I guess I have for you, Mr. Trindle, is what, you have a hard service driveway for your car, and so there's a pile of wood on it. What's your intent? Is it to free up the driveway so you can park your...
I had that wood delivered by dump truck a few months back.
Okay.
And I anticipate having it stacked by the end of the summer.
So, so I just want to say, when a citizen uses their private parking space, that is to keep the vehicles off our public streets, it doesn't motivate, when you use it for something else, this is just me, I'm not motivated to move towards special permitting or parking when you have your private property. And so, now if you need help to stack it, I might be able to get a couple volunteers and stack it off to the side so you can park your vehicle off the street. But that's kind of where I land on this, but if the councilors have any other questions on this. And so, it's not simple, it's not as simple as we can issue you a permit. We're not able to do that because we don't have a process in place to do that. And so...
Mr. Trindle, is it easier for you to get to your house from parking in front because of your disability?
No, it's just a convenience rather than parking down the street a ways.
Okay. I guess what I'm asking is now my dad has a disability, my mom had a parking permit, whatever, and they were able to park, and it was easier for them to get into the house.
When they were able to park in a basically handicap spot. So I guess my question is, do you need that spot to get into your house because of your disability? Does it make it easier to get inside your property or inside your house if you park there?
As opposed to parking farther away, yes.
Okay. If you moved the wood, would it be easier for you to get in your house from that spot or from in front of your house?
Well, I've traditionally used the driveway for parking.
Okay.
I just had the wood delivered this last, going into winter.
Okay.
I purchased it locally and the dump truck showed up and we didn't want to dump it in the street or anything.
Mr. Trindle, just so, question that I hear what you're asking, Mr. Frazier, and I'm trying, I just want to make sure we're clear. So, you have the white pickup that's...
Yes.
Okay, so that's that. So up until the time you had the wood delivered, you were parking where that wood pile is?
Yes.
Okay. So the wood pile shows up, you have to park in the street, and either complaints have been made or law enforcement or someone it's not necessarily picking on you, but they're following the rules that we have. You can't park for 72 hours.
I suppose technically, but I can't imagine who I might have injured.
No, it was just kind of a question. So, wood pile moved, you're back, everyone's happy, correct?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I still park in front of my gate from time to time anyway. It just varies. I use my property for various purposes.
Sure, I understand, but...
I've used the front house as a rental before. And
Sure. The wood in your driveway has just caused an inconvenience to you,
Well, at
and...
the present time, yeah, it's
Okay. That's, I just wanted to make sure I was clear on...
spendy firewood.
Yeah, no doubt.
What? Any other, so, I mean, I'm about ready to make a motion, Mr. Trindle, and if you coordinate a work party, I'll participate, but here's the thing, Mr. Trindle, we don't have a process to issue special permits like this, and I gotta be honest with you, based on what's in front of me, there just isn't enough to justify us to grant special permission in this one case when we have to weigh the whole city at large and our ordinances. And so it's not fair and equitable to our whole city, where our city streets are challenged and narrow. In fact, I'll tell you, last month or 2 months ago, it came up, logging trucks parking on our residential streets. And so that is true, and I've started to look at the ordinance, so I was pretty privy to all of this writing, and so that is something we might have to look at, because our narrow cities can't support logging trucks parking in front of the homes, clogging up our streets. And so these ordinances were done in such a way, I think, that are fair and equitable for the city, and I hesitate to go any further with this, because I do not want to direct our staff to expend this kind of energy these kinds of purposes. And then, I got to be honest with you, Mr. Trindle, for me, I don't want to have to sit in front of 30, 50, 60, 70 people asking for special permits once we establish that process. I just got to be honest with you. And so then we have to evaluate which one works, which one doesn't, and then I'm afraid that I'm being accused of being biased towards one or the other. It's just not, it just doesn't make sense. And so, I mean, let's get some people to remove your firewood. But I think our ordinances make sense for right now, for most of our general public, and especially when it comes to these vehicles, especially when you have a private hard service driveway in your property. I think if you didn't have that, it'd be like, okay, can we accommodate maybe temporarily while you get this other driveway fixed? I mean, that might make sense, but that's where I stand. So.
I guess the only thing I would say is that at the present time, I'm using the wood that I have stacked already because it is dried and cured, and I anticipate waiting until drier weather and warmer weather to move the stuff from the driveway for next winter.
Sure, but we can stack that wood.
As far as procedure, I think that's written into the ordinance.
We can stack wood right off the edge of your driveway temporarily, this pile, while you work on the other one. But your wood pile, I just have to state it plainly, and I apologize, your wood pile does not motivate me to change and make special changes in our ordinances. And so...
What's inside of your fence right there? Is it grass?
Yes.
Would it be something that you could put some pallets down and then stack them on the inside of your fence? We're willing to help.
Yeah, I'd end up having to move it twice. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we got some helpers who will help you move it once, then you can move it again when you need to move it to your next place. But I like that solution. But Mr. Trindle, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion. I'm going to move to deny this application since no viable process exists to issue a special permit for parking.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion by Mayor Flaherty to deny this application since no viable process exists to issue special parking permits. Seconded by Councilor Flynn. Any other discussions or questions?
I would just say we have a viable option with a little bit of
little bit of work, help it out and have the community rally together and get it done.
Sounds good.
All right. All those in favor? Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Chanel. Thank you for doing the write-up. Thank you for spending the time to come out.
Thank you for your time.
And I'm sure we're going to coordinate and follow up with you in moving that wood pile. We are now on to agenda item number 12, project graduation request for donation. Do we have somebody here to present? I don't see any high schoolers in the room. Were they aware that they were on the agenda tonight? Just making sure. I'm not sure. Well, I'm definitely in favor of supporting the high school, but I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to table this until next month and request that somebody present in front of us at least a little bit for project graduation. Is that true? Yes?
Maybe, but I'm also curious, because like the donation request that's in here is for their dinner and auction. So yeah, a month might be a little bit long. Is there some context as to what they were seeking? Because if there's, yeah, because I'm just thinking, like, is it a dollar amount that needs to come to us, or is there another solution like pool passes or something?
Done like pool, I think last year we did a basket for them, and there was pool passes and all kinds of fun stuff, because that's what they wanted for the
Yeah, we
did
had
for-
some stuff
yeah,
from
for
the.
my class,
From the
Madison's
community
class,
building, possible passes, skate parties. I think another option that comes to mind here too is they do utilize our facility, for their event, the end of year event. I believe it's the same entity. And if you guys like, I could look into that and see. I don't recall, what we charge, if we charge. I believe our rates are very reasonable too.
Yeah.
They are
They're low, and this
nonprofit.
one's a nonprofit, so I think that's a different pricing level, right?
Right. But, that's a consideration as well. It could be. So we could get you guys some more information on that for the next meeting.
And it does say cash or prizes, so I'm pretty sure that's what we did last year.
Yeah, last year it was.
We did a basket, it seems like.
I think we just do something like that.
That's great. And, in my mind, I thought it was just cash, and so it's like, oh man. But if we can put together baskets, yeah.
We'll work on that. And we'll say, the information on funding available is we do have some community support funds. So we can, if we have to expend anything to make the baskets, which we will a little bit, we'll do a basket if that's what you all want to authorize. It'll be nice.
Yeah, well, I'll withdraw my motion and say, yes, by all means, staff, please, if you can put something together meaningful, I think that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys do a repeat of what you did last year?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Liz is super good at this stuff, so we'll be great. It'll be great. Thank you.
So do we need a motion to get that going, or is that underneath the threshold?
I think that's a head nod. It's, yeah.
Cool. Sounds great.
All right.
Great. Nice catch, Councilor Corbis. Thank you. All right. Go to the order.
Oh, yeah.
All right, seeing none, we're going to end our session at 8 o'clock and turn over to our president, URA.
All right, so I will open the meeting at 8 p.m. First agenda item is the consent calendar.
Claire.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar on 5/20/26.
All right, motion made by... Okay, motion made by Flaherty and seconded by Frazier. Any other questions, comments, concerns? I would take a joke. All right, so motion made And second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up is good to the order. Anything for good to the order? Okay. So then, should I wait 1 minute, like 30 seconds to adjourn?
Say wait.
Yeah. All right, we will adjourn at 8:01.
All right, thanks folks for joining us. Happy Valentine's Day and have a great February. Thank you.